thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, we will be keeping up with you all on the comment or in the comment section. So don't hesitate to communicate with us. Also, rep your block with the hashtag. If you live in Russell, put hashtag Russell. If you live in Shawnee, put hashtag Shawnee. We just want to know what parts of the city that we're reaching. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jackie.
Hello, how are you all doing today? We just want to say thank you for joining us for the Russell Place of Promise virtual open house tour. We'll get started in a few minutes.
I like this song.
Yes, it's a good song.
And this song is called Good Morning Sunshine by Little Brother. It is on our RPOP playlist, which can be found on Spotify. We'll make sure to put that in the comments for you all so you have the link to listen to some of our music that represents how we feel during quarantine. Shout out to DJ Bombshell for creating that for us.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Christian, for our music. So let's get started.
All right.
Next slide, please. Okay, can't see the slide. But today we're going to get to know each other. We're going to start the program with a little icebreaker. And we're going to share our collective vision for Black wealth. We're going to learn about RPOP, Russell Place of Promise, Black wealth building strategies, and provide ways for you to connect and lead with Russell Place of Promise. Next slide, please. Again, my name is Jackie Floyd. I am the lead community outreach specialist with Russell Place of Promise, building community and neighborhood leadership. Next slide, please. Meet the outreach team. I will briefly introduce our outreach team members. Christian Butler, she works with the families and small businesses. Trachelle Brown, she's an outreach community. She's a community outreach specialist. Next slide, please. And for the icebreaker for today's event, it is, what do you enjoy about living, working, and worshiping in Russell? So I'm gonna give you a minute or so to just reply in the comment section on Facebook. And while they're responding to that, Christian, could you tell me, what do you enjoy about living, working, and worshiping in Russell?
So what I enjoy about living and working in Russell, I do not worship in Russell per se. My church does not reside in Russell, although, if you are in the body of Christ, you are with everybody everywhere. But anyways, what I enjoy living and working in Russell is the fact that Russell has such a rich history that it's just ingrained into the soils. It's ingrained into the people who you encounter. And it's just a different type of feeling and culture. I'm close-knit to my family. It's in like a central location. So I'm close to like, not just my family, but things that I like to do. Like I love to eat at Miss Lucretia's. I love to go get a slushie at one of the corner stores. So I just love the sense of community that resides in Russell.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Christian. Trachelle, what do you enjoy about living, working, and worshiping in Russell? What do you enjoy about? Yes.
I don't live or worship in Russell, but I definitely, of course, I work in Russell, and I enjoy my car rides to work because I see the beautiful murals, and that's how I know I'm getting close to work once I start seeing the murals. And it's always just a good pick me up. I'm having a bad day, or things aren't going my way, but I see the beautiful, beautiful, vibrant colors of the murals, and I'm always in a better mood. It's a good pick me up. So it's just visually pleasing, not to mention the community aspect of it.
Well,
And we
that's
have
good.
Miss Jackie, we have Miss Dana Johnson in the comments. Hey, Miss Dana.
Hey, Miss Dana.
She says that she loves to work in Russell and she loves seeing all the possibilities. It excites her.
Oh, well, thank you, Dana. Thank you. Next slide, please. Russell Place of Promise is a justice-based initiative focused on generating investments in the people, places that make the Russell neighborhood special. Next slide, please, Trishelle.
All right, this is me. Hello, Russell residents. My name is Trishelle. Again, I am a community outreach specialist for Russell, a place of promise. Within my position, I focus on voting and census initiatives and social media content, as well as outreach canvassing. Thank you for joining our virtual outreach. So RPOP is being incubated within Cities United and the Louisville Metro government. It is a physically sponsored project of the Community Foundation of Louisville, the CFL, which is a 501c3 public charity. Within 2 to 4 years, the project will become its own entity decided by you and other Russell residents. So RPOP is not a standalone organization. We are partnered with Cities United, which the Cities United, which is a national initiative which is led by the mayor and the mayor to end violence against African American men and boys. So again, we are not a standalone organization. We are a project, and we are in its early infancy stages. But more importantly, we are a project that is catered for you, by you. So if you look here, this is what we call RPOP. We are comprised of the advisory board and by you. So the most important person is you. We want you to be a part of RPOP. We represent the promise of people side. Let's start off with our executive director, who is Anthony Smith, who is also in charge of Cities United, who I just spoke about. Then we have Cassandra Webb, who is the community engagement coordinator. We have Miss Jackie Floyd, the lead organizer, and Miss Russell. We also have under her is me, Trishelle, who is a community outreach specialist, and we also have Christian, who is as well a community outreach specialist. Then if we go to the Promise of Place, we have Tarika Zawaki. I think I did good with her last name. We have TZ, who is on the executive on loan. And we have Miss Dana Johnson, who is the project manager. We also have Dr. Pamela Jolly, which she will help us with the wealth building strategy, and Napoleon Wallace, who is over the capital strategy. Real quick, I just want to talk about our advisory board, which is comprised of Russell residents, Russell teachers, Russell community-based people. This is all for Russell, by Russell. But I can't stress enough that without you, this social justice initiative will not be possible. You are the most important thing, the most important component to RPOP.
And Tricia, I just want to mention the 2 Russell residents. We have Haven Harrington. He is a Russell resident. He's a long-term Russell resident, as well as Ruth Daniels. She is a long-term Russell resident as well.
Thank you, Miss Jackie.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask this question. I think it's important that we understand what Black wealth is. What is your vision for Black wealth in the Russell community? And I think I want to rephrase that a little different. What is your vision for Black wealth for your family in Russell? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to answer that.
Sheesh.
Christian,
Yes, ma'am.
what's your vision for Black wealth for your family in the Russell community?
My vision for Black wealth is being able to set solid foundations for the next generation, whether it is teaching them how to be self-sustainable in this economy and in this current world that we're in, or teaching them how to build off of their strengths. Like everyone is not meant to do a trade, just like everyone is not meant to go to college. Everyone has what they have been called to do. So basically just nurturing those strengths that you see within children. Like I have a nephew who he's always beatboxing and always rapping and always like, you know, just anything that has to do with music, he's doing it. And so I'm seeing that that's a strength in him, to where, you know, I'm not going to force him to play basketball when I see that his strength is music, if that makes sense. So just basically building up our children and setting them up for the next generation.
Oh, that's good. You know, when I think about Black wealth, it encompasses so much. I not only think about, I think about it in terms of laying the foundation for the generation, for my children, for my grandchildren, for my great-grandchildren. But when I say the wealth part in Russell, I'm talking about the financial part. I'm talking about the health wealth. I'm talking about the emotional wealth, the spiritual wealth. I'm talking about just laying the foundation of wealth for the next generation, because that's really important. Because as we focus on the financial part, but if we don't have the health part, the emotional part, if we're not financially healthy, if we're not emotionally healthy, if we're not spiritual healthy, how can we build wealth for the next generation? So it encompasses, for me, Black wealth encompasses all those things.
Right. Yeah, Miss Jackie, I feel like Black wealth is really just us relearning and teaching our neighbors things. A lot of things we don't know, we weren't taught. So we're at a disadvantage, but we can't say disadvantage really. We want to say that we want to give hope and optimism. So when I say we're relearning things, we're changing our perspective on life.
Right.
Like you said last week, Tracia, we just have on a new lens.
That's it. That's it. It's nothing wrong putting on those rose-colored lenses sometimes to give us hope for the next day.
Tricia, do we have any comments in the comments section?
So Black Mon Boone Alkeisha, and I think her name is just Alkeisha. She says, hey everyone.
Hey,
how are you doing today?
I'm loving this engagement that we're having in our Facebook comments, so I hope y'all keep it coming.
Yes.
Okay, next slide, Trachelle. Our vision, Russell placed a promise vision of building Black wealth through investment without displacement, including connecting individuals and families to resources leading to home ownership, building. Could you go back, Tracy?
It's like, no, she's finished. We know what that is.
Building pathways and opportunities for traditional and non-traditional business retention and creating innovative connections to career track, job placement, and growth, community ownership of neighborhood assets. Next slide.
All right, is this slide 11, Tricia?
Yeah.
10.
All right, so my name is Christian Butler. I am a community outreach specialist for Russell Place of Promise. I deal with the small businesses and also children and families within the Russell neighborhood and within our partnerships. So this slide here is talking about Cities United, who we are incubated by. They are out to create safe, healthy, and hopeful communities for all children. It's just to reiterate what Tracy said, it's a national organization comprised of a network of mayors focused on making sure all our children grow up in communities that are safe, healthy, and hopeful. So with this initiative, they're committed to reducing the homicide against young men, young Black men, let me be specific, between the ages of 14 and 24 by 50% by the year 2025. So that is a little bit more about Cities United and how Cities United ties into what we're doing with Russell Place of Promise. So this same initiative with creating a safe, healthy, and hopeful communities for our children and just for people in general, we're taking that on with the work that we do with RPOP. And so one of the ways we do this is that we invest in the people and places that make Russell special. So you might say, who are the people and who are the places, right? So we are the people, you are the people. Collectively, we are the people. Anybody who lives, works, and worships in Russell are the people that we are looking to invest in. And I know when you hear the word investment, you might have looked at investment through another lens up until now, but we like to just promote that we promote investment without displacement. So I know that term has actually been floating around, but what that means for us is that with the hundreds of millions of dollars investments that are coming in Russell, most times that looks like gentrification. It looks like pushing people out to where like they're not able to afford to live, work, or worship in the neighborhood. When we talk about investment without displacement, that's when we are looking at investment in another lens. So this means that we are partnering with you to say, what would you like to see in the Russell neighborhood? Yeah, we're bringing these millions of dollars in here, but what would you like each penny to be spent on within the neighborhood? And we want you guys to be a part of all of those aspects of this and to be a part of implementing some of the things that we come up with collectively. And so then the places would be like our businesses that reside in Russell that are hopefully feeding into the Russell neighborhood. If we have community gardens, our parks, our corner stores, all of that is our places, our homes. That is all a part of the places that reside in Russell. So we want to invest in those things, invest in the people and the places that make Russell the rich neighborhood that it is and the rich neighborhood that it will continue to be. So within this initiatives and the initiatives that, well, the initiatives that I just mentioned, we have 4 roles within the community, and that is to be connectors, organizers, gap fillers, and accelerators. So I'll go just a little deeper and explain each one separately. So as connectors, we connect residents to faith leaders, community-based organizations, and small businesses to resources for stability and growth. So let's say when the Kroger got shut down, and we just, as a neighborhood, as a city, we weren't really sure of how that was going to affect, because we know that majority of the West End is a food desert, including the Russell neighborhood. So one way that we connected Russell residents to resources for stability and growth was with our care package our care package distributions in partnership with Play Cousins Collective and Ag in the City. So what that did was provided people with not only fresh produce that was from our neighborhood, but also with toiletries such as toilet paper, toothpaste, cold and flu medicine, and things like that. So that was one way we worked as connectors here recently, and one way that we will continue to do that with your partnership in the future. As organizers, we organize the existing resources to best support residents, faith leaders, community-based organizations, and business owners, individual and community wealth building goals. So all of those wealth building goals that we discussed earlier as a team, and then if you guys are discussing them in the comments or amongst your family members as you're watching this live, we would like to assist in organizing all of those so it looks like a collective vision, and we're all kind of moving forward with our individual wealth building goals, as well as the wealth building goals that we would come up with as a community together. As gap fillers, we work towards filling in the gaps residents, faith leaders, community-based organizations, and small business owners have identified as a need to reach the collective vision of Black wealth for Russell. So in addition to organizing together, we would also gap fill in those areas. So say if one of your wealth building goals was to be a homeowner, we would then fill in that gap and connect you with someone like a Louisville Urban League, who has a whole program and aspect of their business that deals specifically with home ownership, whether it's getting you ready, to get your credit in order and giving you all the steps that you need to make that a possibility. We will connect you to those type of resources, and also to any of our other organizations that we've partnered with. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm sorry I'm rambling, y'all. I'm so excited to be back on here. So the last piece of our roles is to be accelerators. So as accelerators, we support efforts led by residents, faith leaders, community-based organizations, and small business owners to learn, build, lead, and grow Black wealth in Russell. So all of these work together. I know we've explained the connectors, organizers, and gap fillers separately, but I feel like the accelerator piece kind of like reels all of that in. So one way we do that is like our survey that we send out to the Russell residents, that just if you haven't had a chance to talk to us one-on-one or seen us while we're out doing community work as far as door knocking and giving out our door hangers, we're sending out this survey so you can kind of answer some of those questions that we would otherwise do in person, like, what is your vision for Black wealth? What would you like to see being created or being preserved, is the word I was looking for, being preserved in the Russell neighborhood? Basically getting that information that we would need to be connectors, organizers, and gap fillers. And also so that we can have the resources that we need and the information that we need to provide the resources for you all so that we can all accelerate to that next level.
Okay, so Black wealth building strategies: home ownership, business retention and creation, career track job placement and growth, community ownership of neighborhood assets. I challenge you all to say that like 5 times in a row. But so earlier we asked you, what is your vision for Black wealth? The team and I spoke about how Black wealth expands past financial need, but also Black wealth is beyond gratification. It's beyond instant gratification. It's about longevity and generational. And we spoke about that earlier. We want to make sure our kids, our grandkids has property, has money in the bank, knows about these items, about financial needs. So with that being said, we have Black wealth building strategies, and RPOP would like to focus on the home ownership and the career creation and career job placement, because more importantly, Russell has all of these great resources coming our way, but we want to make sure that we utilize these resources and we have a say so in where these resources go. So again, let's talk about home ownership. Well, let's talk about our building strategies. How we are going to go through home ownership. We're going to implement business cohorts. What is a cohort? It's a group of people banded together for a common goal. In this case, a business. We're going to equally share claim for the business, as well as patronize good neighbor businesses. This is very important. A lot of times we talk about how there are businesses in our neighborhoods that are not employing us, or that are not friendly to us. This is what we call a bad neighbor. This is what Miss Jackie taught us about good and bad neighbors. A good neighbor is someone who is who employs the neighborhood residents, who is kind, who is giving back to our neighborhood. What else? Miss Jackie, do you have any on top of your head?
When you're a good neighbor in the community, what you do, you employ people from the community, and you also give back. And I'm talking about not only in terms of money, but I'm talking about in terms of keeping your property clean, not having barbed wire fence around your property, getting to know the neighbors and involved in the events in the community. That's part of being a good neighbor.
Right. Thank you, Miss Jackie. So again, RPOP's Black Wealth Building Strategies is for residents to have property, which is home ownership, and business and retention for our jobs, and just to have some type of community assets in Russell.
So sorry, 1 second. One of the Alkeisha wanted to know what area is the Russell community. So I don't want to tell the wrong thing. Miss Jackie, can you answer that with the Russell?
Look, I did this.
Yeah.
Russell goes from, it starts at 9th and it goes down to 32nd. It goes from Market South to Broadway North.
Right.
Okay, and just to be a little bit more detailed, that it's like I said, from 9th to 32nd. It basically stops right there at the expressway. Okay, on Broadway. Also goes from Market South to Broadway North. So if you in those areas, you're in the Russell community.
So thank you for asking that question. We will make sure we have that on there for you to view next time. So these are some of our community resources, and as well as partnerships. I would like to reiterate that RPOP is a connector, organizer, gap filler, and accelerator. We have relationships with other orgs that align with our mission. And we also like to connect residents with these resources and other orgs. So real quickly, I'll just go over some of these. We have the Louisville Urban League, who we have a strong partnership with in regards to home ownership. Park Community Credit Union, we have a partnership with them, and we connect people with them because they have a homeowners program, which you will only need $585 to apply for a home ownership loan, which is incredible and unheard of from me. We have Rebound, which is also working with creating homes for the Russell area. We have Play Cousins Collective. We really work with them a lot. They are a children and family-based program, and we work with them with the Sister Check-In, which is now about to be bi-weekly. Is that correct, Christian? Or are we going to monthly?
No, it's it started this month. Actually, was the first month where it's every second Tuesday of the month.
Okay. And we have Ag in the City, Louisville, which they provide wonderful, wonderful produce, Black owned. And we have the Black Community Development Corp, Joshua Connectors, Omega Psi Phi, Concerned Pastors of Russell. We are creating a relationship with the pastors of Russell because we all know that in the very beginning, a lot of our community-based events and community outreach was through our faith leaders. We have L Home, Amped, Goodwill Industries. Goodwill Industries provides life skills, coaching, digital literacy training, and job placement. Tech Louisville and Metro United Way. So within these community resources, we also have I would like to say, can we say coalition of other partners? We have Amped, Tech Louisville, Catholic Charities of Louisville. Was that on there? Evolve, United Way, us, Russell Place of Promise, Goodwill, and One West. We all are connected through Advancing Cities, and we exclusively and specifically like to connect each other with these wonderful programs and resources for the Russell residents.
We have a question in the comments. It says, what program works with Black male youth? I would say Goodwill Industries, that program that they have. I forget which one exactly that it is, but they work with Black male youth. And also Tech Louisville wants to push more not just Black males, but just our Black youth period, to get more in the tech industry and teach them how to code and things like that. So I would definitely say those two. Yeah, those two definitely. And then Play Cousins Collective also has a Brother Hill and Brother aspect to theirs. It's just like a community where Black men are able to come and nurture the youth and nurture each other. And then all of the other efforts that Play Cousins has as far as building a village and community.
And I'm sorry, can I ask her when she talks about youth, what age range?
So we'll see. It's on a delay for Facebook, but she also asked, do you provide a program for children starting at the age of 6? I believe we need to change that, starting at a younger age. So to answer that question, I would say to definitely get connected with Play Cousins Collective, because they focus on building villages around our children. So I'll go back into the comments, Alkeisha, and connect you to Play Cousins so that you can get connected just with that organization and all the different resources and connectors to other organizations that they have as well. So it'll just be able to give you a little more in-depth, because we want to remember that our 4 roles is to be connectors and gap fillers, and y'all help me out to accelerators, and I'm missing one, but as that gap filler. What'd you say?
Oh, I was trying to figure out which one you said. Connectors, organizers, gap fillers, and accelerators. Organizers
is what I was missing, but definitely those 2 aspects as far as being the connectors. We don't necessarily have resources within ourselves, but we work with other organizations that are already putting this out here. So we work to connect you guys with these organizations, if that makes sense. So I'll definitely tag that information in the comments for you. And thank you so much for being so engaged. This is one of our highest engagements, so we appreciate you giving us that energy today.
Yes.
And we want to go ahead and put her down. So Miss Alkeisha, be on the lookout. I'll be getting your information, or we'll reach out to you, because we want to give you a RPOP swag bag.
Ooh. And we got some good stuff. You need an umbrella? We got it.
Look. So thank you, Miss Alkeisha. All right, and this is me, ain't it?
Yes.
Is this me?
Yes.
So one way we do community involvement is by right here, what you just witnessed, us answering your questions during our virtual open house, us actually doing the open house and having that being open to Russell residents and potential Russell residents, and also connecting us with like the business owners by, just if it's something like Sweet Peaches, who comes over sometimes and gets our vegetables from the care package, and she uses that to feed the community with her free soups that she has available. That's kind of a way that we involve community as far as the business owner aspect. With community-based organizations, we do that by partnering with them, and that goes the same as far as the faith leaders. So we'll have different activities and initiatives and partnerships that will help us to be involved in all of these different aspects that are listed here. So with that being said, here's our community engagement activities that we have going on right now. So we do have our virtual open house sessions. So far, we have one more, which is the 30th, you guys. Is that our next one?
Yes, and we will have some more scheduled for August as well.
Okay. So right now in July, our last one is going to be on the 30th. We just wanted to make it open, so if you missed this one and couldn't look back, so you could be able to be engaged. So, and then we'll also have some more moving forward in August. Our virtual community outreach conversations and events. Some of those include like our connection with Play Cousins, with Kicking It with Play Cousins, that happens every second Tuesday on Facebook Live from our page, and then Instagram Live from the Play Cousins Collective page, and also like our bread and butter that you guys tune into. The virtual open house kind of goes along with that, and then like when you see Trachelle posting things that we're out in the community doing, door knocking and whatever, and she goes live just to connect, those go along with our virtual community conversations and events. Or if it's Miss Jackie going live to talk with Attica Scott about the importance of voting and completing the 2020 census. Another thing is our resident survey, which was mentioned earlier, that will be coming out to you guys really soon, just so that we can get to know each other a little better and get a better sense of how we can fulfill those 4 roles within RPOP. Small business support. Miss Dana, thank you so much, beautiful, for being on. She helps us with that aspect of community engagement. So whether it was helping to formulate the Russell Sizzling Sisters campaign that we had, those Sizzling Sisters include Sweet Peaches, Lucretia's Kitchen, Dasha Barbers, and one of our advisory board members, Miss Lafisa, with Hip Hop Sweet Shop. So whether it be that business support or just reaching out to the Russell businesses to see where they need, Miss Dana helps us to fulfill that on our place side. Our care packages are in conjunction with Play Cousins, which we need to take this off of the slide because we're not having the care packages anymore. What they are doing now on every Friday is to pre-register for a summer learning kit for your children. And also, if you need a good garden box from Ag in the City, you can pre-register for those things and come and pick them up. So we will put that in the comments as well. And then the next time we won't have this listed on there because the care packages have ended. And then also the door hangers and door knocking, you'll see us out. Shout out to Miss Anita that we met last week, and we was able to, celebrate her birthday and things like that. So you'll see us walking out. We'll have on our RPOP shirts and our backpacks. You might see my umbrella if it's kind of hot out there, and you'll see us, just having light conversation and hanging these door hangers on the doors. Also, you'll receive our postcards. While we were out the last week, I actually talked to a Russell resident who said, "Oh, I already know about you guys because I received a postcard." So if you haven't received one in the mail, I don't know if we'll be doing that again, but you should have already received your postcard a couple of weeks ago. Next is our community partnerships, which is, whatever organization or initiative or business or anything that we're connected to within the community, which involves like all of the partners that we mentioned before, as well as our local businesses and our pastors that reside in the Russell neighborhood. and also our partnership with the residents, you all. And then neighborhood family events. One of those were like our Juneteenth event where we had the family to come, or had your families to come out and not only take advantage of our care packages, but just, have some food. We had Brain Freeze there that had ice cream and ices. And we had DJ Bombshell, our sister Trey Shell, who was doing music. And it was just completely fun, and just involved just us getting to know each other and sharing in that multi-generational fun. Another one that we have coming up is on August 1st. You guys will hear more information about that. Miss Jackie, can you explain a little bit about that event? Because I don't feel confident enough to put that information out yet.
Okay, a flyer will be coming out, but it is the Census 2020 and / COVID-19 testing event. And I want to focus in on the 2020 census. The news and people been talking about that Louisville has a great response rate, but what they're not telling you is that West Louisville is labeled as a slow response rate. And what people say, I'm not going to give them my information, and I'm not going to do this. When you do not complete the census, your lack of completing the census affects the resources that we have in our community. And I'm talking about the schools, I'm talking about emergency services, I'm talking about the medical programs for your child, for your family members. I am talking about, do you know that it's also a possibility that we could lose representation in Frankfort and DC, even on Metro Council? Right now, we have Representative Attica Scott, we have Representative Reginald Meeks, we have Representative Charles Booker / Pam Stevenson, who will be taking office in January. We don't want to lose any of these good people because they represent the West End. So it's really important that we complete the 2020 census. And that event will be August the 1st from 10 to 2. We're going to have music. We will have swag bags, and we'll have them until they run out. And we also will have COVID-19 testing. And that's your option. If you want to take the test for COVID-19, you can. And as you know, most of the testing sites have been drive-through. Well, guess what? Russell Place of Promise, in partnership with in partnership, we are doing a walk up. You don't have to have a car because everybody doesn't have a car to be able to drive. So what we do, we're doing a walk up. You can walk up there and get tested. So just look for further information. That flyer should be coming out sometime this week. And I also want to just emphasize the resident survey. As we were passing out the door hangers, if you flip on the back after you see my beautiful picture on the front, if you flip on the back, it has information where you can do the resident survey. And I know, and I'm one of the people who say this, we have people that live in West End, we have been surveyed to death, okay? But this survey, we're seeking your information because in order for you to attend the meetings, to have a say what's going on in Russell, we don't want to just put out flyers or put it on social media and hope by chance you will get the information. We want to be able to contact you personally and say, hey, we're having this meeting on this topic and we would like for you to be there. So that's why we need that information from the resident survey. Okay, Kristen.
Thank you, Miss Jackie. And also we've had another comment to say thank you from Alkeisha, and that she has attended the programs with Play Cousins. And also she received the learning kit from our building, and she thinks that it is the right location. Aww, so thank you so much. That does us good to know that our partnerships are working and are beneficial to the community, and is also convenient.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all, but this open house session is lit.
It is on point.
Yes, I'm feeling some awesome energy. So thank you to Trey Shell for speaking that over us before we got started.
Oh, yes, we prayed.
Yes, we did, honey.
Okay, ways to connect and support Russell Place of Promise. One thing you can do this, you can spread the word about Russell Place of Promise to your Russell neighbors. When you call somebody, when you call to check in on your neighbors, you can say, hey, honey, have you heard about Russell Place of Promise and all the great things they're doing with their partners in the Russell community? You can talk about Russell Place of Promise in your houses of faith. And when you go to Sweet Peaches or Lucretia's or any of the small businesses in Russell, you can talk about Russell Place of Promise, your community organizations such as, now this is one thing that we like when we go to the Russell Healthcare Clinic right there at 15th and Broadway, you could talk about, let them know about Russell Place of Promise. You can sign up for our email list at www.russellpromise.com. Complete the Russell Residence Survey. That's really important. We're not doing the care package, but you can volunteer. I need volunteers for the event, the 2020 census and / COVID-19 testing on August the 1st. We need volunteers. You can join us for a virtual event like our open house. You can shop or eat at a Russell business. Hire Russell residents, and that's really important, to hire Russell residents, to hire people that live in the community. You can join a wealth cohort. You can donate your time and talents again on August the 1st from 10 to 2. Talk with your neighborhood about community ownership and collective wealth. You can share and connect with wealth building resources. And this is really important for us to consider and do if we have the free time. Apply for a Louisville Metro Government Board or Commission position, especially codes and regulations, because that's dealing with the abandoned vacant houses in our community. Not only that, it deals with the halfway houses, recovery houses, anything that needs, that opens up, we will know about it. And it's really important that we educate ourselves and others. And one way we can do that is applying to be on the Metro government boards or commissions. You can participate in the Russell Place of Promise stakeholders development process. And additional information will be coming out about that in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks. Ask about joining our RPOP advisory board. You can follow us on social media, our Instagram account, our Facebook, and our Twitter account. Next. Okay, we got a few minutes. If you have any additional questions, just put it in the comments section, and Christian will ask those questions for you.
I am going to go ahead and play a little music again, Miss Jackie, just to give people time to.
Okay.
Let me chase you around the room, we on some love shit. Find a way like fight and tip. What we have is kinship. I lead Villa, none realer. My exclusive drug dealer, I'm addicted to her. She my down ass offensive slur. Inexpensive birds, Louis Vuitton, that's picture perfect. You are created in God's image. You a queen, you deserve a bigger ring. Offspring, bigger bitch, probably ready to live a dream.
Christian will ask those questions for you.
Never.
All right, and I think that we didn't have any questions as of right now.
We don't have any questions, so I just want to say thank you very much for joining in our virtual open house. And this one has really been exciting because we had feedback, and as you know, especially me and the rest of the outreach team, we love to talk about Russell and we love to brag about Russell residents. So thank you for joining in. And if you have any additional information, if you want any additional information or you have any additional questions, please contact us on Facebook, our Twitter, or stop by our office at 1718 West Muhammad Ali during the hours of 9 to 5. Looking forward to seeing you in the future. Y'all have a nice day. Bye.
All right, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna stop sharing, but